Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with the reaction to the college football playoff ranking. It is officially out for rivalry week. And as you may be able to tell by now, I got a new microphone, so the volume might the audio might be all over the place. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's dive in, shall we? So before we do, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any football or racing. Let's dive in. So I'm not going to be like the playoff committee and be like, oh, who could be number one? Well, we already knew that. We known this. And it is Ohio State. We're starting off at the top. Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Georgia, Texas Tech. Everything held firm from 1 week ago. Oregon was not quite able to jump Texas Tech, but I really don't care. I mean, it's Texas Tech's in the catbird seat. They're going to be getting a first round bye as long as they take care of business this weekend and next weekend. I don't even know who Texas Tech plays. That's this weekend. I think it's West Virginia, but they take care of business. They're getting a first round bye. Georgia, on the other hand, I have no idea how the tiebreaker is going to work out. I have no idea. But they got Georgia Tech, no SEC implications, just clean old-fashioned hate. You got the Lone Star Showdown and number 3, at least half the participants of it. And then you got Indiana, Ohio State. Ohio State, they got their boogeyman this weekend, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak, going into the game 11-0 for the third time in 4 years, I think. And every time that they have gone into this game since the turn of the decade, they have lost. But we'll talk about those implications in a little bit. And then in the next one, you have Oregon jumping up a spot. Then you have Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Alabama. Now, everything mostly held firm there. Oregon jumping Ole Miss, completely understandable. Ole Miss, they got the Egg Bowl Friday night. That got the whole Lane Kiffin controversy. I'm going to do a whole separate video on that. That's going to be coming out tomorrow. If this recording equipment is doing exactly what I hope it does. Hopefully it is. But anyway, we have, so where we are going to be seeing some iffy, questionable things is going to be from Notre Dame all the way down to Michigan. So you're looking at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Miami, I think they've reached their peak, but I still say that the head-to-head is close enough to where you have to put it into consideration. But it may be an even more important point than we already realize. Because if the unthinkable happens in the hollow grounds of Ann Arbor, the house that Fielding Yost built, we could very well see a serious discussion required to be had. Because Michigan would have the best one in the country. They'd be hot at the right time. Depending on how Oregon-Washington goes, they could be playing for a Big Ten championship game, and they don't even have to worry about the committee. If they pull off the second upset in as many weeks over Indiana. So that is definitely going to be a question to be had by this time next week. And then you have the head-to-head with Notre Dame and Miami. That should be playing a factor. Alabama, they're the last team in. Obviously, it's going to have Miami in all the brackets, even though the only way Miami gets in, unless absolute chaos happens in front of them, is if this game if it is with an at-large bid. That's the only way Miami is going to get in, unless utter chaos happens. Which it's college football; it's possible. So we'll see. But as of right now, the only way Miami gets in is through an at-large bid. They have the head-to-head over Notre Dame. Yes, Notre Dame does look better. However, you have to consider the head-to-head, and I better get a damn good explanation why. If Notre Dame is in, and this is assuming everybody's 10-2, Notre Dame is in and Miami is out. We better get a damn good explanation. Now, Notre Dame, they put on a clinic against Syracuse, but it's against Syracuse. Syracuse is absolutely decimated. They are not the team that we were expecting them to be. So you have to put that into consideration as well. I think so. The top 8, they take care of business. They're in. Oklahoma's got LSU and Norman. LSU is an absolute mess. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, the Egg Bowl. That's got implications depending on what happens, especially with Lane Kiffin, which I will be talking about that tomorrow. That video will be coming out tomorrow morning. I'm gonna make that the morning one. Kind of a Egg Bowl / what the hell is Lane Kiffin doing, or Ole Miss doing, kind of video. But and then how Vanderbilt is still ahead of Michigan is far beyond me. We might just be nipping at nothing, but Michigan's got the better wins. They got a win in Seattle. Vanderbilt has 0 quality wins. 0. That LSU win, nope, that wasn't it. The Kentucky. I mean, they do not have a quality win to speak of. You can say, "Oh, that was before everything went to heck with everything went to hell with LSU." Well, you can put a lipstick on a pig; it's still a pig. I mean, goodness gracious, and the ESPN doofuses are already trying to say like, "Ooh, Tennessee, that'd be a quality win. They're doing what they can." They played they played one legit team. The problem is that one legit team can't run the ball to save their lives. We saw that in Norman a couple weeks ago. Then they got walloped by Texas. And I know the score says 34-31, but they got walloped. When you look at the Wolverines of Michigan, they had a good fight with Oklahoma. They won at Nebraska. They beat Washington, who is a good team. Maryland, very underrated. But yeah, their schedule's not much better, but I think Nebraska is absolutely a quality win, especially given all the circumstances with Sherrone Moore not being there. The win against Oregon or Washington is a quality victory. Washington is much better than what the committee will allow you to think. And then, but they can prove it all. They can prove it all this weekend with a victory over Ohio State. That one's already out. Go check it out. Now we have to look at, and then you got bottom. You got the last 2 rows where only Virginia and Pitt have a shot, or Virginia and Pitt, and SMU. They are the ones jockeying for position in the ACC. and then you have Tulane being the last at-large bid, which that needs to come to an end. And then you got Arizona there for I don't I don't know why. Just so they can say that, "Hey, we got another top 25 matchup in, Arizona and Arizona State." So, let's see if we got ourselves a bracket. Yes, we do. Now, that's gonna be the ACC representative, but, I don't care who it is. Obviously, Miami is the best team in the ACC, but it's not gonna be Miami at this point. Again, unless, like, absolute pandemonium happens. But gonna be Oregon, Miami. I'm gonna take Oregon. I don't care who's the ACC representative in this spot. Oregon's winning that game. Texas Tech. I mean, I would almost rather have play Tulane than have a bye. Quite honestly. Um, I believe last year all the teams that had a bye lost. If I'm remembering correctly, it was Ohio State, Oregon. Yeah, it was Ohio State, Oregon. Ohio State bumped them. You had Texas and Arizona State. Texas won that. You had Penn State and Boise. Then you had Notre Dame and somebody else. But either way, or yeah, Notre Dame, Georgia. And you had the Georgia, Penn State, or you had Notre Dame, Penn State. You had Ohio State, Texas, and then Ohio State over Notre Dame. So yeah, I mean, all the teams last year that had a bye lost. Obviously, it's not going to be that way. They switched some things. I mean, unless absolute pandemonium, like I said, unless absolute pandemonium happens. So we'll see what happens. But oh, Alabama at Ole Miss. Geez, what a favorable matchup. Or what a favorable location for Alabama. Isn't that kind? And then Notre Dame's got to go to Norman. And then Tulane at Texas Tech. I mean, do I really have to make a pick for that game? Really? Yeah, I didn't think so. So, Oregon Oregon wins. Uh, I'm going to take Alabama in a close one, but man, I am uncomfortable with that. Then Notre Dame, Oklahoma. If Oklahoma got their offense together, I would be more towards Oklahoma. Obviously, young quarterback in CJ Carr. He hasn't seen a defense as good as Oklahoma's. This would be one hell of a matchup. It's definitely gonna be low scoring. Definitely low scoring. So I'm gonna say Notre Dame just because their running game is absolutely phenomenal. So we'll get Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas Tech, Georgia, Alabama, Indiana, Texas A&M, Oregon. So, and I'm just kind of spitballing here. Just imagine you went up to somebody, let's say 4 years ago, 4 years ago, and I told you that in 2025, 2026, we would get a playoff game between Alabama and Indiana. Wait, what? Indiana made the Final Four? Oh, no, it's 12. Oh, Indiana just snuck in, huh? Oh, they must have got a little bit better. Oh, they got a lot better. Not only did they get a lot better, they're the number 2 seed. Wait, what? What do you mean the 2 seed? Oh, they're the second best team in the country. Huh? They'd they'd be like,
What are you talking about? I don't understand this. What do you mean Indiana is the second best team in the country?
Hopefully that worked. Hopefully that voice changer thing worked. But anyway, they I mean it. Oh, and not only is it Indiana, Alabama in the playoffs, but Indiana's the favorite. They would lock you in a loony bin for even thinking that would that's a possibility. And then Oregon A&M, that would obviously be one of the best games of the season. Both teams very well matched. They're very identical teams. I think Dante Moore is he's a lot safer with the ball, but Marcel Reed, when he is on, he is the best. He is one of the best quarterbacks in the country outside of Julian Saint. And then you have Texas Tech and Georgia. Oh my goodness, what a what a slate! You have Texas Tech, top 10 defense, top 10 offense. Georgia, top 10 offense, uh, questionable defense. I mean, Georgia obviously would be the favorite, but I would not feel comfortable giving points to Texas Tech with Georgia. Now, we have seen Georgia have some sort of revival, but that was against Texas. Different colors, different part of Texas. Texas Tech is actually has good football. Yeah, shots fired, Longhorns. Horns down. Oh, all right. But yeah, I mean this would be a great slate outside of the Texas Tech game and the Oregon game against Maine and whoever the hell comes out of the ACC. So, and then we'd get Ohio State against Texas Tech. I'm gonna say Texas Tech beats Georgia in this scenario, and then I would say Indiana beats Alabama. Then that Oregon A&M game, I'd hate to be the guy that has to bet his life on that game. I would give the here's the problem. In these big spots, I don't trust A&M and I don't trust Oregon. I like Dane Lanning. I think he is a rock star of a coach, but we've seen in these bigger games, he tends to fold. Elko, we haven't seen in this sort of high pressure situation. Now he's going to be feeling. We're going to get that experience Friday night in Austin. We're going to get a taste of it. Can A&M do it? They did it in South Bend. Did it and they've done it all year long. However, they have avoided Alabama, they have avoided Georgia, and we'll see what they're made of in the SEC title game, whether it is Alabama or Georgia. Don't ask me how that tiebreaker works out. I've tried reading it out to you guys, and I don't understand it. So we'll see what happens with that. But we'll see what A&M's made of, and if they're able to get through these next couple weeks unscathed and go into the playoffs 13-0, I mean, give me A&M to be in the national title against Ohio State, and that is going to be one hell of a matchup. And it kind of has a conflicting philosophy with an A&M Ohio State national championship game because defensive coaches win, and Mike Elko, I believe I believe he's a defensive guy. Could be wrong. I'm checking right now. Leave me alone. Mike Elko. I think he's a defensive guy. Yes, he is. He most certainly is. You have the defensive guy, Mike Elko. You have the offensive-minded Ohio State and Ryan Day. How I mean, Ohio State though, they're different. They are just absolutely different. That defense is incredible. However, how you beat an incredible defense, much much like I was talking about in the Ohio State Michigan preview, go off script. Go off script, play some backyard football, and let's see what happens. Is it a great plan? No. But it's the best plan you have against a team like Ohio State. And Marcel Reed, there ain't nobody better in college football at running around off script. So I think the matchup that Ohio State needs to avoid like the plague is A&M. Because I think that is the team that can move the ball on their defense and really force Ohio State to go into that all coveted fourth gear that we have not seen even come close to yet this year. So we'll see what happens. We will absolutely see what happens. So I'm Dylan Hildreth. This is the Dylan Hildreth Show. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And we'll see you next one.